yesterday, I may or may not have taken a bunch of notes on a hearing that I may or may not have been quietly observing. So, we're going to discuss She Who Shall Remain Nameless because even though she gave herself the nickname, she doesn't like when other people use it. So, Voldemort it is. If you want to be an ugly, lipless monster from a Harry Potter novel, by all means, I will call you Voldemort from now on. But yes, here we go. So we are going to get into this. I will give you my notes.
Mommy, try.
I will.
Mommy, Mommy.
You're welcome. Love you.
Okay.
I will try to keep this as. I don't know. I have a headache. I have a migraine. We're feeling a little spicy today. I did invite Spawn to help keep my spiciness to a minimum. However, he is streaming on his own channel, so he will get here when he gets here. I just have. Do you ever know when you hear an argument and it just. Not even a toddler would fall for that line of BS? That is what I felt like. That is what some of it. So, it was a long list of so I wrote down some interesting names that I saw. Some people put their real names and some people kept
Mommy,
as
don't touch me.
Yeah, she's busy, baby.
Stop.
She's busy.
Stop. It's out.
You heard it here first. Oh my goodness. Some people use their real names. Some people didn't. But some of the people that did, Kyle Fletcher, an attorney in Florida who had previously sued her for malpractice, representing a client who had sued her for malpractice. Interesting name. Her mother was in there, of all people. Yes, Luthman, everybody knows you were there. I think it's been well known that you were there. I think I saw something about that. I think I saw a video or something. Yes, everybody knows. Everybody knows. However, I have a migraine, so please just, you'll know how I get when I have a migraine, and I just don't want to you're just like, whatever. Whatever, you do you, boo-boo. Have a good one. All right. So, welcome back to your weekly dive into what the fuck is happening in this world. Grab a drink, your emotional support pitchforks, and let's just get through this the reason that I observed it is I felt like I had a vested interest in this, since I have a copy of a lawsuit that she originally intended to file against me, and then she claimed that she was going to add me to the countersuit that she was going to file against Jeremy, Megan, Tug, among others. I don't know. So I thought, let me just. So while the little was getting ready to go to school, I thought it would be prudent to listen. Yes, forewarning, she will Hydra today, and I'm not stopping her. None of my mods, I don't control any of them. No, she likes to threaten to sue everybody until she's presented with a counter argument, like a lawyer who says, "Look, here you go." because if you sue me, here's going to be your countersuit. Also, the two complaints that I filed with my local police and IC3, because when you use a sock account, make sure that when you email, okay, cyber stalking 101. If you're going to cyber stalk someone, do not put it in an email that you are going to set up a year-long harassment campaign against them. Not smart. Secondly, if you're going to attach photographs that have been put on Facebook making fun of how someone is fat, make sure they are screenshots of Facebook and not the original photos that came from your computer as attachments to the email. You're a fucking idiot. And make sure that person isn't friends with Florida Department of Law Enforcement personnel who happen to be friends with people who know people in GBI. This is why you don't fuck with people on the internet, because they might not know people, but some of their friends do. Be careful who you fuck with on the internet. I'm just saying. And Luthman, I really don't. Yeah, she makes it too easy. She makes it too easy. So, but are they though? So, I'm going to go through my notes that I took. And hold on, I have to send a DM. So, let me just open up the chat in this window. Holy crap, studio, way to reload yourself. There we go. Pop out chat. So, yeah, so there's a couple of things that I had a problem with. First off, before we get to the heart of this, there has just been a couple of things filed. Mainly, Jeremy asked for an extension of time for Hale's lawyer. To respond, or in the Fed 2 case for lawyers' fees, it was a unopposed motion for an extension of time due to the fact that his expert needs more time or is going on vacation or something. I don't even remember. Oh, she did a long time ago. If y'all missed that memo, this was like a month and a half ago. I gave it to my lawyer. I immediately lawyered up and said, "You want to fight? I will fight." You know, oh, where can I find a synopsis of this case? Basically, it's just been a lot of back and forth bullshit. But this one just so happens to be, somebody that inserted themselves where it didn't belong and then sued Jeremy, Megan, Tug, Jay Hip, and I think that was it, and then withdrew it. And Megan, Tug, and Jeremy said, "Not so fast," and sued her back. And then filed a motion to get her labeled as a vexatious litigant. Well, the hearing was for yesterday. So, we'll see. And I have a migraine, so I am going to basically get rid of chat because I can't deal with y'all today. And basically, usually I am very like talkative with chat. I love you guys. Even when you disagree with me or whatever, but I have a fucking migraine right now. And like you think Heidel's Hydramod, if anybody says something that I'm just like, go fuck yourself or please leave me alone, and you don't leave me alone, I'm gonna permaban you from this fucking channel because I am just not having it. When I don't feel good, y'all, I had brain surgery because I had headaches. Like, you know, Jeffrey, you're pushing the buttons. Yeah. So she was talking very, very fast. Almost like she didn't want it just was like not a normal speed. Yeah, totally understand. And I'm just not having it today. Like y'all, I really didn't want to do this stream, but I really didn't want to do this fucking tomorrow because I like my weekends. And I really didn't want to do this Monday because we got other shit to talk about. And like we got other shit to talk about, you know? And thanks. I mean, I get migraines once a week, but usually they're earlier in the morning. However, it's just been a busy week, so I should have seen this coming. So we are going to read Bad Dazzler, You'll Be Good. I'll believe that when I see it. So, first things first, we are just going to get a recap on the actual statute of what vexatious litigant is. And customize. We are going to move. Oh, come on. You're going to move me down there. All right, baby girl, hold on. I know some of y'all don't like it, but I have to go do mama duties because she's more important than y'all.
Mommy, I want mommy.
Oh. Hey, Brian, how are you?
I got you.
All right.
I like.
Girl, I'm going to have to put you down.
No. I want down one.
All right, if y'all didn't, I had a doctor's appointment today. We're going to try some med changes. If y'all didn't see my rant yesterday about medications, go check out ETM. I did a rant yesterday about how much the prosecution in the Lindsay Clancy case sucks when they're bringing out changing medications and multiple pill bottles, because if you want to see me go on a fucking rant and how much I hate prosecutors, that's it. Lawyers just piss me off. Just fucking piss me off. So when Lips says she makes fun of me, no, I make fun of everybody who went to law school. Like Kathy Nestor, Richard Novak, the little Dickie Novak, like fucking these two Trunchbull-esque looking bitches from fucking Massachusetts. Like, I make fun of everybody who went to fucking law school because The only person who I don't make fun of who went to law school is like right here. That person. Oh, and speaking of, when I was waiting, I started reading that. So thanks for sending me the books. I actually started reading them today, even with a headache. And that's how my day is going. So, Jen, keeps it real. Thanks for being a member for 8 months. All right, we're going to get into this. I have to do one last fucking thing. Like, as you can tell, I'm just not in a... I'm just in a... Bleh. Do you ever get in a just fucking mood? There you go. Hey, Mary Beth. Oh. Yeah, I could have said a lot more, but at the end of the day, she did kill her kids, so it's a very hard subject to talk about. But our legal system does not take mental health at all seriously, and it sucks a big monkey dick. So I got nothing on that one, but so we have a couple of situations to get to. Let's see. There we go. Too many motherfucking tabs open. Whoa. There we go. I'm sorry. Even this statute is too fucking bright for me right now. So, So this is the actual vexatious litigant law. We are just going to go through it really quick before we actually go through what happened in the hearing, because it's just important that we actually know what the fuck we're talking about before we start assuming things. So, all right. Vexatious litigant, person defined as proceeding pro se who is in immediately preceding 7-year period has commenced, prosecuted, or maintained pro se 5 or more actions in any court that have been finally and adversely determined against such person, except that an action may be included for purposes in the subparagraph if the court finds the action was commenced, prosecuted, or maintained in good faith. After an action has been finally and adversely determined against the person, repeatedly or relitigates or attempts to relitigate either the validity or determination against the same party, whom an action was finally determined, or the case of action, claim, controversy, or any issues of the fact or law determined by the final and adverse determination against the same party to whom the action was finally determined. Repeatedly files pleadings, requests for relief, or other documents that have been the subject of previous rulings by the court in the same action. Repeatedly files unmeritorious pleadings, requests for relief, or other documents, conducts unnecessary discovery, or engages in other tactics that are frivolous or solely intended to cause unnecessary delay in any action, or has been previously found to be a vexatious litigant by this section to this section by another state court or a federal court. Here's where it gets a little, the judge is going to have to make some stuff. And hey, traveling fools, how are you? Oh. All right, finally and adversely determined if an appeal in that action is pending. So it's not, if any action pending in any court of this state, any party may move the court upon notice and hearing for an order requiring an opposing party to furnish security. The motion shall be based on the grounds and supported by a showing that the opposing party subject to the motion is a vexatious litigant and is not reasonably likely to prevail on the merits of the action against the moving party. Okay. All right. Trying to find the If the motion or order to post security is filed before the trial and in action, the trial shall be automatically stayed. We know that. Oh, so let's see. Here we go. Oh, Spawn Trooper, how are you? Unmute yourself, please. Spawn Trooper.
Sorry, just taking a deep breath.
How are you?
I'm all right. Hello, everybody. I'm good. I'm fantastic. I'm fucking dandy.
I have a fucking migraine.
Right. Here's
And
an
probably
idea.
doesn't help that I'm not putting my glasses on.
Here's an idea. Right. If you got a migraine, depending if it's a conditional or if it's just a migraine, go outside, take a quite quick deep breaths. All right. Before you hyperventilate. And then drink, believe it or not, a can of fizzy soda or mineral water, right? And what will happen is the oxygenation of your oxygen going through your system will then fucking increase.
Yeah, I need to take some medicine for it, but I don't fucking want to because...
Or just shut up.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Look at you with your fucking Mark 1 binocular.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. So we are going into what the vexatious litigant
oh shit, yeah, we're talking about that.
Yeah, but we are going into what it actually is before we discuss what happened yesterday. Because it's like, it's important to know what it is instead of just everybody talking about it like they know what the fuck they're talking about. Let's actually...
I'll be right before you crack on in this. I'm going to give you my insight. This, you know that I don't know that much about the documentation and shit like that. Yeah.
Yep.
But I listened to yesterday. I listened to everything, and believe it or not, sitting there and listening, I actually learned what was good. You know, that because I thought it was the other way around. In fact, it's the new amendment that came out in July this year or last year, whatever. Right? Instead of 5 years, it's lengthened it to 7 years.
Yep.
So, and I sat here last night and I was going, I'm clever, you know. But yeah, it made a lot of sense. It does make a lot of sense. Instead of But I tell you one thing. There's one question I've got.
Yes.
I wonder what she feels like to be a cave diver. Sorry. I've never seen anyone dig that hole that deep.
I have thoughts, and just some things did not add up to me.
What part? Well,
we're gonna get into the notes but there's certain things that aren't actually on this website, and that is what counts and what doesn't. And I'm just now looking at that because Luthman was here earlier saying that domestics don't count and federal doesn't count. However, I have no idea.
Wasn't that mentioned in there?
I just know that I actually clicked on the link using the WebEx app on my phone. I was concerned citizen. I thought that would be I thought that if she saw that, it might make her angry because.
Yeah, I actually fucking understood it, what you were saying, for some reason. Figure that one out.
So,
But, I mean, don't forget, Mr. Magoo likes to fucking he likes to play subterfuge.
well, I'm just saying, regardless of whether I agreed, disagreed, or what, I
Yeah.
was actually looking for the statute language where it said what was included and what wasn't. And the interesting thing about it is, I'm looking for my blue light glasses. Sorry.
No, listen, do me a favor, mate. All right, if you need a break, let me know and I will read it. Because if you got ahead, I'd rather you take your time. Don't rush anything. If you need me to shut up, just mute me or let you just fucking give me a thumbs up.
Wrong drawer.
Right.
I was looking next to Linda.
Did you hear what I just? Okay.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, but y'all are, I
Take your time.
y'all are missing my point.
I haven't even got it
you,
yet.
not you, the chat.
Oh. It's your fault.
I know he's a disbarred lawyer. That's not my point. My point was he brought up a really interesting question for me. Where in the language does it say what is and isn't included? I'm looking at the damn statute, and we will probably have to go into the whole chapter, but it just, where does it say?
Is this just a subnasis of that?
Yeah, this is the Florida. This is the actual statute from the legislature.state.florida.us. This is the Florida statute.
Got you.
For vexatious litigation.
Okay.
Well, it's not that I trust or don't trust. It's not that I trust or don't trust. He brought up a really good question for me. Like, what he said made me think of something. What is included and where does it say what is or is not included? Because the actual statute language doesn't actually say. Volusia says it's in definitions. Y'all are missing my fucking point by saying, well, he's this or he's that. I don't give a shit what he is. He could be a fucking tortoise for all I care. I really don't care. I care about what reading his comments and him saying this isn't, well, show me the language. And I was reading it and I couldn't find the language to prove him right or wrong. That was my point. The whole point of my comment about Luthman was I don't give a shit if he's right or he's wrong in the sense of proving it. I want to know where the language is in the statute because I didn't see it. And when someone asks a question or says something, a statement of fact, I want to fucking know. I want to read what makes you say that. Show me the language. That's why it's like, I don't care what people say. And there's like people's opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got them and they all stink. Show me the statute. Show me the language. Show me the law. Show me something. Don't just come in here and say, well, this doesn't count. This doesn't count. Show me. Prove it to me. Because, and that goes for everybody. That just doesn't go for one side or the other. That goes for...
Can you send me the link to that, please? Yes,
I will put it in private chat.
Yeah. Just do me a favor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know. That's also not my point. My point in general is I want to see it because I don't believe anybody. I don't believe my own parents unless they show me a statute. Like, it's not personal. I just have enough brain damage to not trust fucking people. I need to see it. When Mr. Squid tells me something and tells me something that's in like a thing or a pamphlet or a an instruction manual. I look for myself. Not that I don't trust him. I just need to see it for myself because that's how I am. I need to read it and see it for myself. Even my bosses, even my friends, I'm like, can I see that when they tell me something? Because I need to see shit for myself. So when someone comes in here and says, well, it's this and it's this, well, tell me where to find that so I can see it for myself. You know? Yes, it's educate myself. It's show me. So when I regurgitate information, I can actually say, I saw this with my own two eyes. I read this for myself. It's not a see, Florida court specified includes actions under family law, civil procedure for the
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
governed by the Florida family laws, rules of procedure, the Florida rules of civil procedure, and the Florida probate rules, Florida small claims, or in another state court or federal court, governed by rules of procedure that are comparable to rules of procedure specified in subparagraph 1. So that could be interpreted. This is why I hate when statutes are written like this and not in just plain language. Yeah, therefore hearsay. I hate fucking hearsay. Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Because hearsay means I didn't fucking see it for myself. And it gets annoying. Like, you. So, 68093 1 and 2. Yeah, right here. Here, let me zoom in a little bit more. Because whoop. Right here. So, so what Luthman was basically saying is that 2 didn't exist. It was only Florida family law, rules of procedure. And correct me, Volusia 1, please correct me if I am wrong, but wouldn't a DV issue be in family court? That's why I said Volusia, not you, because I knew you wouldn't know the answer. Then that's not personal. There'd be 2 issues that you've never dealt with, DV and American law, and American DV law. Two things that you've never had to worry about.
Yeah. Well, I've dealt with it over here, not personally, but I've dealt with it over here years ago. But
I just know, being retired law enforcement, that he's probably.
Yeah, I think there's a something's gone missing in translation. Can I give you my insight before just to give you a little break? Just do me a favor. Just do a little bit of breathing and just relax for a minute. I'm going to give, and I mean that. So don't make me pull this vehicle over. I'm telling you now.
You're fine.
Okay, right. Here's my opinion about this. The reason they're declaring her a vexatious litigant are for the following reasons. One, the amount of motions she's put in since she injected herself into this case. That's one. The second thing is a habit of putting motions in and then closing them down without following through. And 3 is deliberately using the court systems or the filing systems as our own personal filing system. And from what I understand, okay, everything that was heard in that recording was based on this is what this is, and this is what this person is doing, and this is exactly the behavior that we're seeing, and here's the proof. And that's why they want to declare her a vexatious litigant because of her past behavior. And to do that, they have used the history going all the way back, the 7 years, all the way to present, to show that she is vexatious. I hate that fucking word, vexatious.
Oh, and I totally understand that. My thing is, one side is arguing that all of these cases are appropriate and they fit under the law, of vexatious.
Mm-hmm.
And the other side is saying, well, this doesn't count. These kind of cases don't count. These kind of cases don't count. These kind of cases. So that's why I wanted to start with looking at what the actual statute was.
Right. Well,
so that we can establish.
Yeah. Well, in 680993, paragraph 1-2, right, already explain it.
Yeah, but this is where I agree with Stephen. The language allows for some judicial interpretation, and I hate that. Because I think certain laws should not leave any room for interpretation. Sometimes it either is or it isn't. Do we allow civil court or do we not? Do we allow federal court? Do we not? Do we allow family court? Do we not?
But 1 second, please.
It shouldn't allow room for interpretation. It should be something should just be a yes/no answer.
I mean, like interpretation. Okay. Well, the fact that there is evidence of exactly what Shockett stated. There is evidence of that type of behavior by her. All right. And from her own mouth, she stated that she uses the system to put it on record and everything else. So I personally believe this, from what I understand, and I hope it makes sense. She is trying to say, "Oh, you can't use this, you can't use that, you can't use this." However, right, as this new system has come in, the statute has now come in, it can involve cases, and he's used these cases that what she has done in the last 5, 6, 7 years. He has used that as evidence and factual proof to show her conduct. Oh, look, I'm small in the corner.
Well, and that's why I wanted to look at the document before we got into my notes.
Yeah,
because I took notes because I was listening the first 3 quarters of it. I was prepped and ready to leave the house because I had to leave right after this hearing was over. So it was like leave, or it's like hearing over, shoes, purse, keys, out the door. So it's
But how are you feeling anyway, mate? How are you feeling? Talk to me. I don't
know. I'm here. I think I'm having a caffeine withdrawal. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, just listen. Go and get yourself some caffeine. I'll keep the natives freaking happy, and you go and get yourself some caffeine, and then and then so you go and do that, and then basically freaking take a breather and that, just and then come back with 60 liters of caffeine in you. Right. Anyway, right. So, well, that's what I understand. I mean, people may not agree with me, but there you go. I think that most of what was said was to show conduct and behavior. Yeah, she was. So yeah, and I think that from what I saw and heard, you're not. It's watching someone dangling by their fingernails. So there's no way someone's going to get out of this one. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Hi, Gabby.
Screams locked and loaded in more ways than one.
Yes. Yeah. Easy, Tiger. Drink your caffeine.
All right.
Anyway, how are you doing before we go
on? So the little won't give me my phone back. She's in the bedroom gaming with her dad. we got a new TV for the bedroom.
Really?
The PlayStation went into the bedroom.
Nice.
It actually fits. We were dealing with a 32-inch TV in a room that fits a king-size bed. It was a little disproportional. However, with that being said, she's in there, but she won't give me my phone back. But I saw a notification from the app in which I communicate from her teacher wanting some information. And she would not give me my phone back to communicate with her teacher. And I really need to do that. However,
that's funny.
However, getting into yesterday, some interesting observers, and I kind of touched on this a little before we started. However, there were some interesting people, and I am not going to name anyone because there were some people who use their first and last names who are just supporters of one side or the other. However, if you are not a streamer, have been involved in litigation with her, or a lawyer, I am going to leave your name out of it, because I'm just going to leave your name out of it, because it's not anybody's business, you know?
Can I just sorry, go on.
Because you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
to name some of the people who used their first names in there, it's just not.
I can tell you one thing. I can tell you one thing, though. There was one person. He was not fucking happy. You could see. I was like, "Oh snap!"
One person who wasn't happy.
I'll type the name in because I'm not going to mention names.
The judge. Oh yeah. So I did touch on a few names before, but we'll get into, because that was the first thing I took note of, was who was there.
Yeah.
So you had the usual players: Shizzy, Megan, Tug.
Megan looked really smart, actually. I was very impressed.
I didn't pay attention to like who, because I'm on my phone. All I saw was like here over. Yeah. So I didn't really I didn't see full people. I didn't bother, didn't care, was on my computer taking notes. However, so we had the court reporters, but then you had Danny Federigos.
And what the hell? Yeah.
Kathleen Bors.
Now that name I've heard somewhere before.
That's her mother.
Oh snap!
Though I'm not exactly sure the relation of Danny. I do not remember, and please, it's not really important. But it's one of those situations where it was like, I know those are two people who she sued. So it's one of those like, and then you had Michael. And you had the court clerks, but you had you had Anonymous, but you had the capital U, and it was just like some of the names that people chose to use were like interesting. Like, I know it's a play on words. I just don't know exactly what it is. But then you had Kyle Fletcher, brother-in-law. Thank you. I knew it was someone she had been in active litigation. It's just there are certain things that my memory loses first, and how people are related is just one of them, because it's an unimportant detail in the grand scheme of my my world. It's just relationships between people are, yeah. And no offense, I don't really care. Do not care about what anybody else does. Just don't give a shit. And that's nothing personal toward anybody. That is just, I do my own thing, and I don't give two flying fucks what anybody else does. Because it ain't none of my damn business, and I don't want to be involved. Yeah, so Kyle Fletcher in Pinellas County, she was being sued. Voldemort was being sued for malpractice by a woman, and her lawyer was Kyle Fletcher. I started to cover that case, and it was one of those cases, but then lips got boring, and yeah. And that's right. And Gabby, and that's why you are my sister, because I love you. Speaking of sisters,
yeah, Gabby keeps on picking on me anyway.
Speaking of sisters, I did talk to mine, and we have no more connection to Adams County, So I will be covering the Afro Man new lawsuit that he filed against one of the sheriff's deputies in Adams County, Ohio. It has been long enough, and we no longer have any connection to Adams County, so I will be covering that probably Monday. It was filed the 27th. So
I think he's funny as hell, actually.
yeah, but he filed a lawsuit against one of the sheriff's deputies who raided his house.
Is it like? Let me ask you a question. Is year 2025 and 2026 the 2 years where everyone just sues the shit out of each other?
Well, he has a reason to sue, but you know.
I mean, I've never,
And Valor, thanks for being a member for 11 months. Squid Rocks. Well, you know.
So
it is. I just know Kyle Fletcher because I was. she had issues with Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher was an attorney that she had gone head to head with a couple of times, and it was an issue, and it was an attorney that she had issues with. And in one of the bar cases, can't remember which one, all the paperwork blends together after a while. However, it's another one of those. Then he represented the woman suing her for malpractice. You know. Afro Man's possibly my dad. I don't have anything that would make me think otherwise. And hereinafter, thanks for a member for 9 months. It's a Tentacle Nation baby.
Do you know what? I'm just thinking now, looking at your member's name, Tentacle Nation, right? I personally think that, and it's just a thought. Do you want the tentacleless, or like try to find the feminine and masculine name for Tentacle Nation, and then give the male and females their own sort of like tentacleless, yeah. I'll just shut up.
Thank you.
Yeah, what do you mean?
So I thought Randy did a really good job of just not getting emotional and just keeping it straight on the facts.
Yeah.
I had listened to Coop stream this morning, and he was rewatching a little bit of Lynette's deposition.
What, from last year? From
2024.
Oh, God, I bet he needed headache.
That's probably what gave me a headache, to be honest with you.
My anxiety is off the roof.
However, I was comparing the way he talked in that video compared to the way he spoke yesterday. He was much calmer, straight to the point, didn't get an attitude. Like, you could tell he was getting agitated with Lynette. He was just straight to the point with, because I think that was still Randy. That wasn't Mark Feather. So
yeah, it was Randy. Yeah,
it was Randy.
Yeah.
But I was comparing the tone and the way that difficult personalities were handled. Yesterday, he did a very good job of stating, here's what I'm talking about. Please answer my question.
He was on the, but I'll tell you one thing, he was like a great white shark coming up to his food going, yummy. He was on the ball.
Well, just the tone of voice and the redirecting to answering the question was probably the best I've seen in a while.
But just before you carry on, the thing is, like, if he was like that in every deposition, because if I can remember correctly, what he did there with freaking Life Jacket Lips, right? He did exactly the same before. So I don't think he changes because of the individual. He is just like a straight shooter, ask the question, blum, blum, blum. So yeah, I don't think he's the type of person to change his demeanor according to the individual. I think he's just like a fucking razor sharp fucking
commando. But you can tell with Lynette that he was getting agitated.
Well,
and I understand why, but like you could tell, and you could even tell reading the deposition with Bruce.
I wouldn't say agitated. I would say more impatient because it costs money.
True,
Because
but you could tell that his voice was showing stress. Where whatever that might be, agitation, impatience, his voice was showing stress. Yesterday he was just calm, straight to the point. Straight.
Well, he's had 3 years of experience, so
True. And yeah, he might have had it on 1.5. I don't know if he had it on 1.5 speed because technically he was watching a Jeremy video. So I don't know.
yeah.
Either way, he just sounded, and it's not so much the speed of his voice, it was the tone that got me. But yesterday she kept saying they settled. And thanks to Susan Davis on Facebook for this, because this is what she put the pieces together for me in her post, that my brain was like, something doesn't seem right here, but I can't tell exactly what it is. With the Michael Federico's DV issue, she said that he agreed to therapy. And for some reason, like, that didn't sit right for me. That's why we settled out of court, because I don't like the court, and he went to therapy.
Yeah, you see, I've got an issue with that. Why you're not there to fucking, I mean, like, every time he asked a question, it was like a drawn out answer. It's a yes or no answer. It was a drawn out answer. What the hell has something like therapy or anything got to do with this topic?
Well, that's why she dismissed it, because he went to therapy. He agreed to therapy, so she dismissed her DV claim. Which in a vacuum seems plausible and seems like, okay, my whatever husband, significant other agrees to therapy, I'm going to drop the charge or the claim that I had against him. In a vacuum, small little narrow vacuum, seems like a plausible thing. However, Susan Davis, yes, Susan Davis is the bomb, because when I was reading through her post yesterday after I got home, and I was like, what didn't sit right with me made total sense. She said in the 911 call played last night, Federico has told authorities that Michael refused to go to therapy. So was she lying in the 911 call, or was she lying yesterday?
Do you know my brain's going at 260,000 miles an hour right now. You know that, don't you? You know that I'm going to be so ahead of the fucking horse in the car.
Yes, and I took notes, so we are going in chronological order of my notes. So
there you go, Poindexter hit the nail on the head.
That's a good point too.
Yeah,
that's a very good. Yes, and some things can be true.
Hello, sweetheart.
Some things can be true at the same time, and some things cannot be true at the same time. Saying that somebody agreed to go to therapy, so you're gonna dismiss the case, but then in a 911 call saying he refused to go to therapy, those two things cannot be true at the same time.
And here's another question I've got.
Yes, right here. Oh my God, you thought the same thing I did. Okay, Amber Heard, pledged does not equal donated. Yes.
And here's the question I've got. If you are in a relationship where DV is occurring, and why is all the hoo-ha, and then suddenly you agree on therapy, and then no, I'm just going to not say anything. 1 sec.
I have to send something to
you. Yeah, because it just doesn't make any sense, because I have many years ago when we had to deal with stuff like that, there was a very deep investigation, and obviously you got the families officer and everyone else dealing with it as well. You got but the person involved, both parties would be split apart, right? One would stay with a friend or something. So I can't understand why. she
Mommy,
makes
it's a happy.
this big hoo-ha,
It's a happy.
goes to court, and then just because
It's OD.
it's not adding up. It's not making sense because, like, I mean, everyone's got different reasons when it comes to DV, but this one, it just no. Now I'm fighting with my brain now.
That's kind of where I was yesterday, when I was sitting trying to pay attention to the teachers talking, and like at the same time, okay,
Buck naked just
Herbert Kyle Fletcher, an Orlando attorney that was involved as a plaintiff with Leslie's bar issues. That's what I remember him from. But also, he was the attorney representing the woman suing her for malpractice. I'm not going to name that woman's name because it's really that woman is a quote unquote alleged victim of Lips's legal career. So
have a look at Buck Naked's. He's got a very good point. If you have an injunction
against, somebody say hi to Coop. I didn't see Coop's actual comment. So Coop, if you're here, how you doing? Thanks for giving me a migraine. I'm just kidding. You didn't give me a migraine. Your video did. If you have an injunction against contact, how did the contact agree to therapy? That's a really good point.
Yep.
That's a really good point. Yeah, that's a really good point. It's just one of those situations where it was that combined with the fact that it's like 100 and it's hotter than Satan's butt crack outside. Hey, Coop. Professional victims are all over the social webs making claims like that. Flips can't help herself. She's like, others need validation. Yeah, and I'm gonna say like Coop said this morning, and like Mo says, I don't care if you talk about me because Mo says you can talk about me all you want because I don't care. And Coop says it's free advertising. Hey guys, speaking of free advertising, to the haters and the people who hate me, you know I have a second channel. It's youtube.com/@evidence-through-motion. If you want, go hate watch that because I need watch hours over there. Thank you.
Yeah, and I've got a third channel now.
Watch me. At least do it on the one where I need hours to get monetized.
Yeah, and Heidel forgot about me. Anyway, I've got a third channel now. It's called Idiots Are Welcome.
Squid, you picked a fine day to quit day drinking. I know. I've been trying to give up my second thing of caffeine, and it looks like I can't.
Hey, Squid.
What?
Squid.
What?
Squid.
What?
Okay, now I know that you're happier now. I can tell by your voice.
Okay, and
see, Heidel hates me.
So
Gabby hates me. She keeps on picking on. They both pick on me all the time.
David Rickards. I just watched Lutzman's video on the court hearing, and to be fair, it didn't sound Leslie that was destroyed in court as it described by Hale. I don't think destroyed is the right word. I think the judge was like, why are we here? Based on her. The judge was sitting there like.
Yeah, but at one point she did perk up. There was a couple of points she did perk up, and seeing that, actually, I was like, oh, shit.
Destroyed, I don't know is the right word. Destroyed would have been if the judge was like, okay, I don't need to look at the case law. I don't need to look at this, and I'm going to rule on it right here. That would have been destroyed.
Basically, what happened to her yesterday, in my own opinion, is like a hamster standing in the middle of the road watching the headlights come and doesn't realize that that vehicle is a Morris Minor.
Okay, can we not mention Morris Minors? However, it was just there's just certain things that did not add up. Oh, Brian the Science, thanks for the $2 super chat. I heard a great migraine cure is Fanta.
Oh, snap.
And Malin was here with the 20 Swedish krona before. And I apologize for not reading it. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. Yeah, destroyed is clickbaity. And I'm just not the clickbaity type that just like whenever I watch a video and like not specific to Hales, whenever I just watch a video in general and the title ends up being clickbaity, I gotta like turn it off. And I'm like, I just can't. You're just yeah, this is more like it. More like an embarrass herself. Because she started talking at one point. She started talking. She was talking for a good 15 seconds, 20 seconds, and then asked the judge, "Is it okay if I start?" Like, you think you should have asked that before? However, she did a better job than what was described in the first hearing I did not watch. She did a better job as was described in the first hearing at not interrupting. I will give her that much. But she still had that vocal fry, which was like, and it talked like she was reading from her motions. It didn't sound like she had an original thought as to why her motion should succeed. It sounded as if she was reading from her motions, which to me, like I said, not a lawyer, never claimed to be one, but to me seems like a weird strategy because the judge already has your motions. Why are you going to read from them again?
And actually, yeah, she read most of it. You could tell that she was reading.
Well, I had read her motions before, so like like certain things were like, oh, I had read that. I read that. My memory might not be great, but when I read something and someone regurgitates it weeks later, I'm like, oh, that sounds familiar. It's because she was reading her exact motion. Drink that caffeine, please.
Yeah, I noticed that, Coop.
It didn't, though. She still had that vocal fry. It wasn't as severe, but it was still there because I wrote it down because it was driving me nuts. It wasn't as severe as when she's like on with the fleas.
She was loud,
thanks
though.
for sending floating hearts, huh?
She was loud.
Yes. I don't know if that was just a being close to the mic thing.
No, it's. I mean, from everything I've seen with her, that is the first time she was that loud. There was. I mean, like everyone else was fairly normal level. She was like if she was talking through a bullhorn, but at the same time, I mean, like she literally, if she was in a dinghy with a fucking like a hedgehog, I mean, yeah, she's. She got called out yesterday. She got called out and got owned. Simple.
Well, there's a couple of other things that didn't make sense to me. So she brings up, this is where I get very, when someone says something and you're like, why would you be aware of that every time you file something? It's one thing to be aware of the law and be aware of laws that exist. However, she said she was aware of the vexatious litigation, the original statute. She was operating under the original every time she filed a lawsuit. Almost as if the way I interpreted that is that she was trying to do as much as she could while staying right under that line. Was the way that my brain interpreted that. Like, this is just my opinion, and that is just the way that I interpreted that. But when she said that she was aware of that she was aware of the original statute every time she filed a lawsuit, it made me think that she, you know what I mean? Like when someone's skirting, not just with this, but say an example of like when you know that cops don't pull you over if you're doing like 10 miles over. So you do like 8, 7, 8. So you know you're skirting right under that line where they will pull you over, but you're not quite there.
Mm.
You know you're doing something wrong, but it's not to the point where somebody's going to pull you over yet. So you're just sneaking under that line. And I'm like, that's what I felt like that was.
The fact that like the fact that she tried to bring in her work as well, considering that, I mean, like she looked like a deer in fucking headlights, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
She
and
was
that's also what I was going to get to. The judges holding her face. But remember how I said earlier when you were reading something and I said the person you were reading the words of didn't sound like they were confident in what they were saying? There was lots of us
oh my God, darling.
not answering questions directly, going, if I wanted to refile something, I could. It was just a very... And
She sounded
I
like a
struggle with
fucking
words
child.
sometimes, but I have a cognitive disorder.
Yeah, she sounded like a frickin'. To be, I'm gonna say I'm done playing fucking nice guy. She actually looked and sounded like she was a fucking spoiled child that just got told no.
The thing about it is she has always struck me, based on just hearing her talk and reading her lawsuits and the way she writes things, she has always struck me as the person who, when they went to someone's birthday party, they were mad that they didn't get a present too. They were the person who, if they went to their sister's or their cousin's birthday party, had to have something to open too, otherwise they threw a tantrum.
Yep.
That's who she reminds me of.
We know a couple of people like that, don't we?
Yes. However, you have to read this comment because this made me laugh.
My dad always told my mum he had a cure for a headache. On that note,
how about Fleabag secretly recording it, then giving it to Paint Chip? Lolo will talk about being in contempt.
Oh, I want to talk. I've got something to say about that. Like, I mean, first of all, right? If you're going to act like and I'm going to say this now, if you're going to act like a complete tit, right? Considering that you try to make out that you're some intelligent fucking human being with God knows how much, and then you sit on the fucking throne pushing one out, and then you like walk around like you all pulling faces and crap like that, you are not doing her any favors at all. In fact, you're actually making her look like also a tit. Now, I must admit, I did laugh very hardly to a point where I pooped.
I have more information than I need to know. Thank you.
Okay, all right. But here's the thing. When you try to this is the typical Paint Chips, right? When you're sitting in a vehicle and then you make it like you should. I swear to God, right? She should have spat instead of swallowed. Anyway, carry on.
David, I think you're understanding so my opinion is this will be dismissed because the statute changes. It can't be applied retrospective. Hale's lawyer should have known this. You're missing what that means. So by your logic, the statute that was effective July 1st, 2025 cannot be applied until 2032. That makes no sense at all. That makes no sense at all. As of July 1st, 2022, the statute says they can look back 7 years.
Yep.
We read the statute at the beginning. The statute says you can look back from the effective date 7 years. It says it right here.
Oh, Jesus
In the
Christ.
immediate preceding 7-year period. immediate 7-year or preceding 7-year period. That right there destroys that entire argument of retrospective. What retrospective means is you can't go to a case where someone was found not to be a vexatious litigant in like 2024 and reapply this statute to that case. You cannot do that because that would be retrospective. You cannot go, well, this person was found to be not a vexatious litigant, but they only looked back 5 years. If you look back 7 years, they'll be found vexatious. You can't do that. That case has already been done. It's almost like double jeopardy. However, because this statute was in place at the time that they filed this lawsuit, July 23rd, I think. This lawsuit says immediately preceding 7-year period. Right here. Like, sorry. The statute's pretty clear with its language. Right there. In the immediately preceding 7-year period.
In actual fact, if you carry on reading that, I think you'll see the basic explanation from Randy's argument. Has commenced, prosecuted, or maintained pro se 5 or more actions in any court that have been finally and adversely determined against such person, except that the action may not be included for purposes of the subparagraph if the court finds that the actions was commenced, prosecuted, or maintained in good faith. None of us was in good faith.
Look at this name.
Leslie Lee might smell like pee.
Thanks for the $2 super chat. Retrospective limits only apply to criminal law. Maybe. But regardless, this law is pretty cut and dry, and it says immediately. Immediate preceding 7-year period. Not 7-year period from July 1st, 2025.
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. I just had a brain. Maybe she was trying to, like, she's gone on about 5 year, but here it says 7 year. Maybe she was trying to hide something. If you think about it, why are you so afraid? Like, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, if you go back 5 years, yeah, you see,
Either way, it says immediately preceding 7-year period. So, and this is why we read the statute here, because, yeah, I'm sure people must have already been found vexatious under this new law, which would prove Squid's point as well. That's what I had said last time, and I think I had agreed on that last time, that I'm sure that Randy could pull a case of someone who has already been found vexatious under this current law and use that as case law.
Mm.
And that would dismantle her entire argument because, you know.
I don't. Wait, what? I just looked behind me when sport. What? I personally, I mean, this is my personal opinion. I hope that Life Jacket Lips knows how to scuba dive, because the shit's got real. It's as simple as that. You know, you made your bed, you lay in it. Like, you want to play all these games, and then, well, this is fucking goal, score, match, done. You're done.
Game, set, match.
No, I'm being awkward today.
Of course.
Yeah.
Supreme Court has the list available to the public. Oh yeah, I gave that same video to my lawyer. Like, that video was sent to my lawyer on day 1.
I bet he fucking couldn't stop laughing.
Like, well, he knew her from law school, so.
I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, now it makes a lot of sense why she was in so much fucking trouble with a bar. It's all starting to make sense now, because, like, the thing is, until yesterday, I was just thinking she was just being an obnoxious bitch, but it turns out.
David, you have it completely wrong. She was a lawyer then. What are you talking about? When you're a lawyer, you cannot be held. Yes, you can, because you're pro se. Even though you're a lawyer, if you're representing yourself, you're still pro se. The definition of pro se is representing yourself. It doesn't matter what your fucking education or your job title is. If you are representing yourself in an action, you are pro se. It doesn't matter if you're a lawyer or not. Michael Federigos is still a lawyer. If he were to represent himself in a case, he is proceeding pro se. Bubbles, if he were to represent himself in a case, he would be proceeding pro se, even though he has a bar license and a law degree. Somehow. That's not the definition of pro se is representing yourself. It's not being a lawyer and representing yourself. So I hate to say it, but you are, wherever you got that information right there.
I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I personally think it would be a good idea to classify her as a vexatious litigant, because it would then stop her from abusing the system. Simple. It would just stop her from abusing the system, because that's what she does. She abuses the system.
And the thing about it is, and people are like, but you can't take away someone's constitutional right to file a lawsuit. Being labeled a vexatious litigant doesn't. It just means you have to put up money or basically ask a judge for permission, which means a judge has to look over your case to see if your case is legit before you can file a lawsuit. So it's not taking away your ability to file a lawsuit. It just has to be a legitimate thing and a legitimate reason. Yeah, this right here. And this is why I like to go over the statute, because it can easily disprove things or prove things. When people say, like when Lip says, I'm going to go after Jeremy for vexatious litigant, you can't, because the statute literally says proceeding pro se. Jeremy is not pro se. He's had a lawyer in everything he's filed.
Yeah, that makes it different.
That is different. Huh? You're referring to Leslie reprinting her clients, not representing herself? All the things that were brought up, the only one that was brought up where she was representing someone else is where she was sanctioned, and she appealed it pro se. So once again, the reason that one was brought up was because she got sanctioned for that. And when she appealed it, she appealed her sanctions, she appealed it pro se, ergo another pro se case. So it wasn't the representation of the client, it was the appealing of the sanctions she got as a result of representing that client that she did pro se. That's where the pro se comes in. So that's it doesn't have anything to do with representing her client. She got sanctioned in that case. And I'm pretty sure Randy brought that up. To say, hey, by the way, Judge, she was sanctioned. Her and her client were sanctioned. So it's her and her client were sanctioned. She appealed the sanctions. And in that appeal, she represented herself pro se. That's where the other pro se case comes in. It's, however, she did object to the video because what you showed the court wasn't authenticated. I just don't file things to get them on the record. But you literally said that.
That's Go to my happy place. Go to your happy place. Go to your fuck it. Right. Like, how can you not authenticate? It's you. You're talking. It's a live stream. I think he would. I think if I was going to use evidence like that, okay, I would have the whole video. So if the judge turns around and says, "Well, Mr. Socket, you showed us a clip of a video. Do you have the entirety?" Yep, there you go. I mean, how stupid? Like, fuck it, I'm going to my happy place. I'll mute myself. Don't worry.
Darn, I was really hoping to I was really hoping to grift that one. Just kidding. It's
okay. I'm back.
So I mean, Randy had stated, "You understand that filing a lawsuit with the intention to withdraw it is not in good faith." She didn't answer that directly.
No, she didn't answer anything directly. She didn't say yes or no. She made a spiel.
Well, I mean, and here is my pushback on her. Well, the thing about her letting these time frames of not completing service.
Oh, yes.
She never asked the court for more time. Never once in any of the cases that I looked at. Be it I did not do an exhaustive list of all her cases all over Florida. There might be more that I didn't find. Just in Orange County and the 5 or 6 cases that I looked at and wrote down, none of the cases that she had not perfected service did she ever ask for more time or explain to the court why she hadn't perfected service on time. If we've seen with Randy trying to serve certain people, if he can't serve, he constantly goes back and asks and explains, "I believe this person is evading service. I believe this. I believe that. I believe this." Whether it ends up being the absolute truth or not remains to be seen. Playing devil's advocate. However,
have a look at Buck Naked's comment. That is a bloody good one, actually. That's a good point. Really good point.
Red herring on the timeline. She didn't want the family law cases included. Too damaging to her case. Possibly. It's just, like I said, these were just the things that I was writing down as I listened. It's... She did answer that being permanently retired meant she can never be a lawyer in Florida again. It's just one of those like, and then that's true. That we did read through the statute, and hey, call me Gina or Jeananna. And this is this is where it leaves a little interpretation, as the statute is not perfecting service and the court denying an adverse ruling. I
don't think this.
That's where the court. That's what's up for interpretation by the court, because I feel it as an adverse ruling because you brought the case and the judge said no. Because you didn't do your job.
I don't think this is going to turn out well for her. From what I've seen and heard, I don't. And the expressions on the judge, I think that judge is. She probably might look soft, but I don't think like the body language, the expressions. She was paying very close attention to what Randy was saying.
And the Lisa Lee might smell like pee. Thanks for the $2 super chat. She was busy taping her face to serve anyone. Possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, hey, Captain.
It's a face tape. Just gets me.
Hey, Kern. I tell you one thing. My witness protection program is fantastic. I get Dr. Pepper delivered every day. I get 2 new sheep every 3 days. Everything's awesome, mate.
However, she did bring up this. She said she was unemployed, which this is another thing that Susan Davis brought up. In the Chapter 13 bankruptcy petition filed on July 15th, Michael Federico's, and I'm reading directly from her post, so these are her words, not mine, to give her credit for this. Michael Federico stated under oath that in the 3 years prior to July 15th, 2026, he has not lived anywhere other than the shared primary residence. But July 2024, Leslie Federico testified under oath that she and Michael were not living together in July of 2024. Make that one make sense. Also, Michael Federico stated under oath that Leslie Federico has her own income as of July 15th, 2026. He is relying on that alleged additional income to persuade the bankruptcy court to approve his Chapter 13 plan. She said that she didn't have any income and that's why she didn't have a lawyer.
Can I interject? Can
I finish my thought real quick?
Go on.
Otherwise, I'm going to lose my train of thought.
No, go on.
Also, he was representing her up until a month ago. So, what? And then with her calling the school, your client called my school. That has been proven to be false based on emails that I have been given from the person who emailed the damn school.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Radis had given me the email specifically.
Yep.
Like, sent it to me multiple times and said, hey, just in case you don't have this anymore, here it is again. I'm the one who called the school. He has never denied it, yet she's still blaming it on Jeremy. Yep. Under oath. In court, she blamed it on Jeremy. Oh, hell no.
And here's the funny part, which she doesn't realize. If she is continuing to make that accusation, considering that, like, that's why I didn't show it on mine that night. That's why I waited for you. Here's the thing that she doesn't realize, that if it comes down to it, the school, the headmaster and the HR department can be subpoenaed to verify what her allegations are.
I see in my mind Thomas the Train running out of smoke up the hill. Squid brains.
Hey, Captain Kern, you know what I think you should do is make a Thomas the Tank Engine with Squid Pro Quo on the side of it. I couldn't resist, sorry. No, but yeah. So this is where she's put herself painted herself in the corner, because like she's continuously accusing Jeremy of contacting the school and everything else. We already know who done it. However, it's very easy for Randy Socket. You don't know if it's already been done or not, that the school gets subpoenaed. And basically, I mean, like, you know, they're plastering all the text messages or emails on their platform. It's very easy to, to subpoena the headmaster and HR and say, right, we want the truth. What happened? And then she better put on her camouflage cream, because I'll tell you one thing, a wig won't protect her from, yeah. So she's opening herself up yet again for scrutiny. And who's to blame? Herself.
Squid, didn't she say something different about who called the school? She said, your client called my school.
Yep.
I quoted that. I wrote it in quotations in my notes.
And she said it multiple times.
But then Randy asked to admit all the exhibits, and she objects to everything. And it wasn't like she objected to like whatever she could throw spaghetti at the wall. It was like a Kathy Nestor objection. And if you know who Kathy Nestor is, you know it's a spaghetti at the wall. Anything that she could come up with to try to get, and they were all overruled. All of them, every single one. And the judge didn't even explain. She's like, I'm just going to overrule all of those.
The thing is, what I can't understand, this is the only thing I can't understand. right? You cry wolf about this extension, this 68-093, vexatious litigant. You cry wolf about that. You make up a shit story about the school and you losing your job. And everything about you is a lie. So don't sit there and don't sit there and play the victim when you are fully responsible for everything you've said and done. And here's the thing: if Jeremy decides to say, right, I want to subpoena the teacher, the head teacher, she's done. That's it. Legally, she's done. Because we've all seen the proof. So I'd like to say a lot more, but this program comes with parental warning. So,
Well, so I have had a couple of things that were like came into question because she complained that no court has ever found her in bad faith and frivolous. Honey, you didn't let the courts get to that point.
exactly. Exactly.
If the courts would have gotten to discovery and figured out that in discovery you're full of absolute dog shit, maybe, but also no one has ever connected the dots before. No one has ever said she has this and she has this and she has this and she has this. I don't know if anybody has thought about it before because I can't get into people's heads. Sometimes I want to, but
no,
that's
not
against
that
the law. However, no one has ever on paper, anyway, in the public record, said, hey, we think she's vexatious. Let's look at all these and put A, B, C, and D together and link all these cases together. And the fact that she was basically telling the judge what the judge's discretion was and what she could and she couldn't look into. I'm sorry, if you're being labeled or if people are trying to label you a vexatious litigant and they name the cases that they think are vexatious, that gives the judge the opening to look at those cases. It's like, no, the judge can't do independent research and just Google your name and look at all the cases around the country you've filed. However, if Randy has given her certain cases and said, I believe this is vexatious, I believe this is vexatious, I believe this is, now the judge has the opening, the door has been opened for her to legally look at those cases and ethically look at those cases. It is now in the judge's purview to look at those cases. For her to tell the judge that it is not within the judge's scope of practice, there's a legal term for it. I don't know what it is. In the medical field, we use scope of practice. It is now within the judge's scope of practice to actually look at those cases. If Randy would have never put those cases in a filing, no, the judge cannot ethically look at those cases because that would be deemed as independent research. But once they are in a filing, that's kind of like a medical note. If it's not in a note, it didn't happen. If it's not in a legal filing, the judge doesn't care. The judge can't see. The judge can't look. That's why all this YouTube back and forth bullshit does not really fucking matter if it's not in a court document. So it's one of those jurisdiction. Yes, thank you. Thank you. It's just one of those situations where now it's within the judge's jurisdiction if it's in a court filing. And that's kind of where it's like, yes, it is Randy's job to tell the judge what to look at. And for Lips to insinuate, oh, my bad, Voldemort, because instead of being called Lips and people just talking about the fact that you have lip injections, now we're going to be calling you gray, an ugly old man. There you go.
I mean, what got me was the fact when he turned around, he said, oh, and she also emailed the court clerk or emailed 8 times or 7 or 8 times. I can't remember exactly how many times. I mean, it's like, are you really trying to prove how dumb you are? I mean, don't we know someone else who emailed a judge? You know, I mean, it's. Oh God, I swear to God. Do you know what? I tell you, if I ever come over to the States, I am going into witness protection program. I'm going to go and live in Squid's basement, and then once in a blue moon, I'll just pop round to freaking Captain Kearns to get some sort of helmet made, so I can go into hiding sort of thing. Because I think that she's going to end up. I think she's going to end up in a silly little girl.
Did you have anything specifically that you wanted to address on this? I
The thing is, though, if I try to address something that I've noticed, it's. I mean, I'm going to be sitting in here effing and blinded, because, to be perfectly honest with you, what I saw was enough for me. Like everything, like Randy Shockett, right, was professional, and he laid out the fucking route how everything went, right. And as far as I'm concerned, her responding, instead of going yes, no, which she did a couple of times, and then going into the little spiel, and then looking, and then the moment it was her turn, and she started looking over to the right, reading off what she wrote. If you've got something to say, you know what you're going to say. I thought she was a lawyer. Why does she have to read something off verbatim? And also, and furthermore, why is she trying to fight so hard that people don't go past the 5 years? It's like a doubts protest too much.
Not even the 5 years. It's that from what I understand from reading the statute, the old statute did not allow family law cases. So the family law cases, aka the
I think she shot herself in the foot by doing that.
And I didn't see that. I was on my phone, so I just had the first page of people up, where I saw the judge, Randy. It basically was 4 people. It was me, the judge, Randy, and Lips. So.
Yeah, when it comes to paint chips, I don't really care what he does, because at the end of the day, he's a freaking space cadet anyway.
However, that being said, after we do final thoughts, we are going to be redirecting over to Nick Starrow's Slightly Buzzed, because he is going to be talking about this as well, and I am going to be over there with him at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Monday, we are talking... Monday, we are doing more fraud files over on ETM. Not sure of the time exactly, because the little starts school on Monday, and I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be like. However, Tuesday, we will be doing Afroman's new lawsuit, because I have been I talked to everybody that I needed to talk to about whether it would impact my family or have any blowback on my family, and they don't care. So they said, you do you, boo-boo, aka go for it. So yeah, the judge did not like the idea that she sued her mom. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't like my mother-in-law. I can't even imagine suing her. I would love to sue her for emotional distress, but like, it's stupid.
Can I just point something out?
Yes.
Detective Faja, thank you so much for that fantastic idea. However, it would take me approximately 4.5 days to go and get her. It would then take another 4.5 days to get back without her kicking and screaming. And then it would take approximately 6, probably 7 hours to drive down there. Then it would take 2 hours for me to convince one of the tower guards to do exactly what you wish. And then I would have to probably pay someone off to keep her there for at least 48 hours before she then comes looking for me, dressed like a freaking predator.
The judge's face. The judge was a lot of this.
Yeah,
Just a lot of like touching her face. Yeah,
and
that's
that's
what
not,
I'm
and
saying right here. This
yeah,
comment right here.
and that's not, and that there is not boredom. That is not boredom. That body language was like, oh, really?
The body
Interesting.
language was like, why the fuck am I here?
Yeah, yeah,
We'll load her
yeah.
on a C4. A C5. She'll
No, put her on a C-17. At least she have enough room to run around and kick off.
no, put
And
her on a C5.
why?
Cause that's the biggest plane ever known to man.
No, C-17 will get you here quicker.
Yeah, but the C5
Look, you just want to
can't
travel in
annoy
freaking
anybody.
luxury. That's what you want to do. Just
I
admit
don't
it.
know, because you could strap her down in the middle of the cargo area and she'll be fine.
Good point.
She
We
won't
could
bother
also
anybody.
airdrop. Yeah, you could also be airdropped. That's good.
That right there.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, but look what happened to the Humvees last time they did an airdrop.
Do you have any final thoughts before we go? Because
Well, I mean, like, right? Have you? No, you do yours first.
I did.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, I mean, personally, after witnessing that and seeing everything that was said and the reaction from her, I don't think this is going to turn out well for her. And also, I also believe there is still possible pending subpoenas to establish factual truth in regards of the school issue of her being fired. And obviously, other people have already discussed that. But I personally think if I was Randy, I would subpoena the headmaster and the HR. Obviously, there's certain information they can't give out, but the fact that she's blaming other people for that, and there's proof out there that Jeremy wasn't the person, yeah, I don't think this is going to go down well. And when it comes to Mr. Magoo pushing one out on the throne and then acting very extremely childish in a court hearing, right? That should be that I personally think that should be used against him in a court hearing, because that was unprofessional and unfair. Not playing devil's advocate, that was definitely unprofessional, uncalled for, and unfair on behalf of both parties. So other than that, yeah, and obviously, yeah.
I honestly, things could go either way because we never really know what the court is going to do. However, if the judge interprets the statute like I do,
Yeah,
where it says federal, because we have it right here, where it says immediate preceding 7-year period. So plain language.
yep.
If it says Florida family law, Florida civil, probate, small claims, or another state or federal court governed by the rules of procedure comparable to the rules of procedure specified in paragraph 1, that literally says federal court or even another state.
This is why I believe that she's.
Speaking of that, the one person I did not mention who was there, who was observing, was Rekieta.
Who?
Rekieta. Nick Rekieta.
Oh, right, okay.
That's the one person I didn't mention from the streamers who I saw observing.
I'll tell you one thing, there was a lot of people there. I mean, can you just imagine my fucking name popping up on there? It'd have been good. No, I mean, yeah.
And there was a bunch of people who went by observer. So there was probably more, but Rackets was there.
I tell you one thing though, a lot of people were there who she dragged through the crap, so that was interesting to see.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that one. Sorry. So thanks, Cynthia, for bringing that up because, like, yeah, there was 50. Not all of them were streamers. Some of them use their real name. Some just use anonymous participant. Here's an interesting one. Take note of the way this is spelled. Because I think this was supposed to be observer, but take note about someone in the chats that you see around the tubes. When someone tries to spell observer and they forget the S. So Oberver. You ever see someone misspell observer? There was someone there that misspelled observer. If you know, you know.
Yes. Wait a minute. Let me just have a guess here.
I don't know, but I've seen someone with I've just seen screenshots of someone's chat, and there's someone with the name something observer, and observer is always spelled wrong.
It's funny how people get caught out at the most simplest.
It's the dumbest freaking way to get caught.
Really? I mean, people attack me because I can't spell for shit. That's why I use AI. But at least I own up to it.
All right.
God.
Judge was appointed after Leslie's retirement. Judge was a DOJ senior public defender in Orlando and is married to a retired deputy of Orange County. Yeah, that judge is not somebody I'd ever want to mess with.
What that judge lady from the other day?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
She was a DOJ public defender and is married to a retired deputy Orange County deputy.
Well, that'll be interesting because
I didn't tell you that before. Volusia told me that like a couple months ago, and I forgot. I didn't tell you that.
Nope.
So, my bad.
It's okay. I know what it's like when I have to deal with you two together.
Yeah, we're fun.
It's like fucking Jekyll and Hyde. You both just take turns each day.
Of course.
Who's going to be Hyde today? Oh, I'll do that.
They are great people. They seem like great people, but they also seem like people that I'd really never want to fuck with. Kind of like you and your wife. Just saying, great people, but never people I'd want to cross.
Hey, Buffett, I'm not scared of admitting that my dyslexia, dude. At the end of the day, right, it got me to places,
Being corrected on a YouTube channel.
When? Where? What?
Today. All the time.
Who?
Me.
Forget you. Yeah, like I pay attention.
That's true. All right, guys. You guys have a great day. I will see you guys over on Nick's channel in about 40 minutes. Go tell him I said hi and I sent you. And
right,
I
just
will
before
see you guys.
No, wait. How are you doing now? How are you feeling right now?
I still have a headache, but
Yeah, you're feeling better. Good. I've done my job here, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'm thinking it's the caffeine.
Well, I told you to go and get one. Go and get coffee. Get caffeine. Anyway, do you want me to yeet or should we just fuck off or what?
Yeet.
3, 2, 1, ja, yeet.